So my name is Nooka. I'm the director of the myeloma program and a professor in the Department of the Hematology and Oncology at the Emory University Winship Cancer Institute. So Teclistimab is an off-the-shelf, fully humanized IgG4 BCMA CD3 bispecific antibody that redirects the CD3 positive T cells to mediate T cell activation and lysis of the BCMA expressing cells. This is a first-in-human phase 1/2 open-label multi-cohort dose escalation study among patients with relapsed refractory multiple myeloma who have received more than or equal to 3 prior lines of therapy. In essence, this is triple class exposed disease. After the patients undergo the screening, they would receive in the week 1 a step-up dosing of Teclistimab given subcutaneously at a dose of 0.06 milligram per kilogram. The second dose after 3 days would be given at 0.3 milligram per kilogram. And for cycle 1, day 1, which would start a week after the first priming dose, patients would receive a Teclistimab at a dose of 1.5 milligram per kilogram given subcutaneously. And this is continued weekly for a period of 2 years until these patients would receive subcutaneous dosing of Teclistimab weekly until progressive disease. A total of 165 patients enrolled on this trial. There is a good enrollment from African Americans accounting for 21%, and patients that accounted for the triple class refractory disease were 76%, which is three of the 4 people were triple class exposed, or 3 of the 4 people were triple class refractory, and 30% of the patients were pentarefractory. If you look at the overall response rate, which is a primary endpoint for the study, the overall response rate was 63%. This is a significant benefit for these patients that had received a median of 5 prior lines of therapy. The responses were fast. The first response happens at 1.2 months after the first dose. And the best response is close to 4 months after the first dose. If you look at the rates of MRD negativity at the threshold of 10 to the power of -5, 1 in 4 people achieved an MRD negativity in this highly refractory subgroup of patients. These responses are long, durable, and at the date of data cutoff at ASCO of 2022, among the 104 responders, 67 of them continue to maintain those responses. The overall duration of response was 18.4 months. The overall survival at 12 months was 68.5 months. If you look at a median follow-up of 14.1 months, the median PFS was 11.3 months, and the median overall survival was 18.3 months. So there were some safety aspects associated with the study that we should not ignore. There are higher rates of neutropenia. Grade 3 and 4 neutropenia are seen in 64% of the patients. And 123 patients, which is 3/4 of these patients, had hypogammaglobulinemia, and potentially these patients could benefit by receiving IVIG. There are 5 deaths in this study related to Teclistimab. Another important consideration is the usage of the IL-6 antagonists as well as the steroids for the cytokine release syndrome. Even though grade 3 toxicity of cytokine release syndrome was seen in only 1 of the 165 patients, all grade toxicity was seen in 72%. Most of these are very manageable. 20% of the patients had a grade 2 CRS. Neurotoxicity is the other one. Neurotoxicity was seen at a grade 3 level. In neurotoxicity, all of them were grade 1 or 2, except for 1 grade 4 seizure. So overall, this is a good group of, this is a good class of drugs, and Teclistimab being the one in the forefront was able to yield deep and durable responses at a median follow-up of 14 months, a median PFS of 11.3 months, rivaling the results of the CAR-T studies. Is supposed to show much clinical benefit and could be an off-the-shelf availability for the patients that do not qualify for any of these CAR-T treatments. CRS, again, is very manageable. Neurotoxicity is very manageable. These patients would need initial hospitalization for closer monitoring. But the incidence of any of these toxicities beyond the cycle 2 are very rare, and these can be administered in the community over the long run. Infections need to be very, very closely monitored.